Good morning. Crazy hair, don't care. So I'm laying in bed. If you're new here, this is what I do in the morning. I'm laying in bed and I'm scrolling through the Facebook support groups. If you're new here, I do this all the time. And I saw this post that really just made me chuckle. And someone was saying that they are on Zepbound. They have been going to the gym. They're working really hard. They're working with a dietitian. They've got everything kind of dialed in and they're doing all this work. And they're so happy with their results. And another woman stopped her at the gym and said, "You look amazing. Can you tell me what you're doing?" So she did. She talked about the classes that she was taking at the gym. She talked about staying hydrated, prioritizing protein, what exercises she was doing. And then at the end, the lady cut her off and said, "Are you taking a GLP-1? And this woman was offended. Dun, dun, dun. And I'm going to give you my 2 cents about it. If you're new here, hey, I'm Allie. I've lost 130 pounds while taking a GLP-1. And I put out new videos every day, so you should subscribe. Okay, so the woman was offended. Dun, dun, dun. And so she posted in the support group and she was like, "I'm not in the habit of telling people what medication I'm on." Look, if you don't want to tell people that you're on a GLP-1 because you're embarrassed, because you don't want to deal with, anything that they may have to say, you don't want to deal with judgment, you don't like confrontation, you don't want people in your business, you don't want people talking about you, whatever the reason is, you are not required to tell anybody anything. But I will say that it's an opportunity. It's an opportunity to help someone else. Is there the possibility that there's going to be backlash and they're going to be like, "Oh, okay, well, never mind. You're taking a GLP-1, so that negates everything else that you've been doing." Okay, well, then that person is a dum-dum and you weren't going to be able to help them anyway. And you can just move on with life. But for people who are on the fence or who are getting their information from, social media garbage, and they're scared to even talk to their doctor about a GLP-1, you might be the inspiration for them to have that conversation. If you are willing and able to say, "Yes, in combination with all of these other things that I'm doing, I'm taking a GLP-1. It's a great tool." And you can just leave it at that. They may have more questions, and if you feel open to that, you can. They may want more information, and that may not be your thing. And so you may be like, "Hey, you should check out this YouTube channel called FitFlavorFun on YouTube." Right? I mean, you can get out of, talking them through an entire GLP-1 experience if you don't want to have that conversation. But I would encourage you, if you can and you're able and you want to be honest about it. Because for every one person who's going to have that negative reaction, and you can tell them to pack sand, I mean, who cares what they really think anyway? There will be 5 people that you could potentially help them or inspire them and help them to become a healthier version of themselves. And I know that for many of us, this is a completely new scenario where we are in a position to inspire someone else, specifically relating to physical appearance, making changes in our body, becoming healthier, right? So that can be a new and jarring experience. But by having that honest and open exchange with someone that you may or may not know, right, on like a personal level. Like I said, this was somebody that walked up to her at the gym. You could potentially inspire them, or even if they're not interested in taking a GLP-1, you've at least given them a good example of what it looks like to be doing things right. Like I said, this person was at the gym. They've made a lot of changes in their body. I mean, what a fantastic way to show somebody else, hey, yes, doing this diet and exercise in conjunction with a GLP-1, yeah, great results, feeling good, doing great. What a better place to have that kind of conversation. The other thing that I want to mention that I don't think that people realize is the more we talk about this, the more mainstream it becomes. The more mainstream it becomes, the more people get on the meds. The more people that get on the meds, the more and better insurance we end up having in the long run, and the more access there is for everyone. Eventually, we will reach a point, more than likely when there are many, many options on the market, where these meds are covered by insurance with, minimal copays, and we won't have to jump through all these constant hoops in order to get access. But we're not there yet. And one way that you can do your part and help, if you're willing, is to talk about it. Talk about your positive experiences. Talk about how the side effects are manageable. Talk about how you have been able to change your life, change your health. Talk about the improvements that you've seen. Spread that positivity far and wide. And eventually, it will drown out the negativity. I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you did, give me a thumbs up. If you haven't already, subscribe. I'd love to have you along for the ride. If you are new to a GLP-1, make sure you go check out my newbies playlist, where I answer every question you could possibly think of when it comes to a GLP-1. Make sure you hit that notification bell because I go live every week. And as always, be kind, rewind.
Finish him! Diabetes! Diabetes! Brimley wins!